The conversation around the Grammy Awards in Nigeria is still top of the trends within the showbiz space. While many are still basking in the big win for singer Thames, others have been making mixed comments as Burna Boy misses out on extending his Grammy wins. One of the categories where he was nominated was picked up by the South African track Bayete, performed by Wouter Kellerman, Zex Bantuwini, and Unsebo Zikode. I am now being joined by Los Angeles-based Nigerian singer who drag Peters, popularly known as Tito the Wildfire, who is a voting member of the Academy and has performed and recorded songs with Kellerman from the group. Many thanks for joining us. Last Sunday was a big night for music across the world, and one of the talking points from Nigeria, of course, aside from the celebration of the win for Thames, was the fact that Burna Boy couldn't extend his Grammy wins of the night. The trophy went to the South African group Bayete, who were known to be friends with Kellerman from that group. So the first question is that category must have come with mixed reactions for you, seeing how you must have been torn between supporting your friend or your compatriot.
It's a difficult position, very difficult position to find yourself in, especially when you are torn between country and friendship, right? So myself and Walter in 2018, I was in South Africa, performed with him on stage. One of my songs, we shot a video for the song, Freedom Song. We spent a whole week together, working together creatively. And then again in 2022, when my album OSG was coming out, Walter also featured on a song on that album. And this album, the single was just released as early January. So voting was really a tough one to vote. And definitely, I know that I can't say who I voted for. Voting is personal to each individual. But I'm proud of everyone who was nominated. There has to be a winner. So a winner has to be chosen.
That's fine. We won't want to put you in that kind of pressure that will make you divulge who you voted for. But speaking about the winners, what kind of creative space does your friend Walter thrive in?
I think Walter is one of the most peaceful persons to work with, to do anything with that has to do with music. You get to learn from him. You get to, creativity thrives in a lot of, for me, it thrives in peace. It thrives in calm. Some chaos is good sometimes, but mostly calm. And Walter is that kind of person. And when he's perfectionist to the latter. So whenever you record with Walter and probably the engineer doesn't send the track properly, he would tell you that next time when they're doing it, they should do it like this. His level of professionalism is very, very high. I'm not surprised he won it, and it's his level of professionalism.
As a voting member, Tito, of the Academy, can you help us understand the guidelines that the Academy might have provided for you ahead of the awards, and also how much pressure and lobbying were you exposed to from record label executives who, of course, are looking to get their candidates to win?
Generally, the procedures for selecting winners for the award is very stringent, right? So when you submit as an artist, when you submit your record to the Recording Academy, you are placed into the suitable categories. Yeah, you have in mind what you think this song should be. The Academy has committees that are professionals in every field, and these professionals will look at it and say, okay, this song is more appropriate in this category. If you didn't put your song in it, because sometimes as artists, we have emotional attachment to our work, so we feel it should be in a particular category, but you need independent people to look at it from a broader view and say, look, this is where it fits categorically. And you're limited to just 3 votes from the same field. And then there are the general votes. So in all, you can't vote for everybody. You can just vote, and you're advised to vote for people who are in your area of specialty. So It's very professional. I put in my own work for this particular Grammy that passed, right? And while trying to put in my work, I saw the level of competition. It was heavy. I mean, you like in a category you have over 247 entries of beautiful songs from Shake, all the Nigerians, Kids Daniel, everybody is there, and it has to come to one. So it still boils down to the Academy member deciding and saying, "Look, for we think this guy or these guys, for this year, they should carry the honor." But for me, I just feel everyone who's nominated is a winner.
Okay, lastly, before I let you go, how strong do you suppose the conversation around getting an Afrobeats genre is right now for the Grammys?
The conversation is on. However, I think that for that conversation to bigger voice in the Academy, yes, the Academy did a lot of admission of artists from Nigeria, from Africa, from Ghana, right? Artists need to start getting together, having conversations on that level of continental level. When you notice that some artists won the Grammy Award, they said, this is a victory for South Africa. So what are the West African artists saying? What are we talking about? Is our friendship limited to when it's time for the voting and then we reach out to a friend and say, hey, guy, what's up? Are you in for consideration? And all of that. Obviously, we know that friends will talk to friends, but you're told to make your judgment based on professionalism. But that conversation needs to be what we need to start looking at. Like Nigerian artists, we should start talking with each other and saying, you know what? We need to start pushing this conversation to the Recording Academy. Join a chapter of the Recording Academy. And then we can ask for a chapter of the Recording Academy to be in Nigeria or in West Africa somewhere. So that chapter, because we have Texas chapter, we have, I'm in Los Angeles chapter, we have, different chapters, but most of the chapters are right here, right in the States. So if we don't have chapters that cover us for Afrobeats, then we need to, at this chapter, start pushing this conversation and saying, you know what, Afrobeat, just like reggae, needs to have its own category. I think Billboard's gave us a category in the Billboard's charts. So the Grammys should, but that needs to be heard, the voice, the conversation, and then it has to be the whole of African artists coming together and saying, you know what, it's not enough to say we on the global, we need something that reflects us.
Many thanks again, Tito, for joining us on the program, and we wish you all the best